Welcome to World's Finest, the Southgate Media Group's weekly DC Comics review. As always, I am Phil, but unfortunately, Lilith could not be with us this week. She is battling the hordes at Comic-Con, so I'm sure we'll get a bunch of war stories next week. But this week, we have a very able-bodied Super DC fan to fill in. I'm sure probably most of the people listening to this know who this is, but for those of you who don't, let me introduce you to Mr. Tyler Patrick.
Thanks, Phil. Yes, it is I, Tyler, the Superman fan, and I hope they recognize my voice. I know it's been a while since I've been on this show. Things are crazy, and sometimes 3 hosts are hard to juggle, but I'm glad to be back. We do have with us the great and powerful Superboy, also known as Solo. He is here. He looks at the pictures, and he points, and usually says Batman. So we're working on that, but yeah, he's here with me.
Alright. That is cool, but I know you got 2 books, so we'll kind of jump back and forth, but I was going to start with Aquaman number 3. You probably haven't been reading any of this, right?
I have it all sitting in my pool. I'm behind on some stuff just because I've been on medical leave and I haven't been able to get up to the shop where I have my pool, so I'm behind a little bit on my reading. That's why I wanted to use this opportunity to catch up on some of the other Rebirth titles that were just launching this week. So we could discuss. But Aquaman is a character that I do thoroughly enjoy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I just started getting Aquaman 3 issues before Rebirth. But he's setting up a embassy. He's trying to set up an embassy so he can have relations with the surface world, specifically the United States. But of course, Black Manta crashed the party last issue, and then this issue, I guess Black Manta hooks up with this. I don't know who this villain group is, but and then I don't know if it's them or somebody else who frames Aquaman for an attack on a Navy ship. So the issue basically ends with Aquaman arrested by the U.S. government.
That's not an end, I like Aquaman a lot. I love where his character's gone. I mean, if anything, say what you want. Aquaman in the New 52 was awesome. He really needed the beefed up. I'm excited to see that the Rebirth is continuing the trend of just bettering a really amazing character that always gets the short end of the stick. Yeah,
like I said, I'm pretty new to it, but it seems to me they really didn't change much from the New 52 to here.
See, it's really weird. When I talked about this, and I'm sure you and Will have talked more in depth about everything, is just when they tried to do the post-convergence and they shifted to the DCU, they tried to do some stuff, and it just felt very odd and out of place. And then with Rebirth, it's all come back around. So it's some of those stories just feel odd, and we'll touch on that more as we go throughout the reviews.
But yeah, I enjoyed the issue. I gave it I was gonna give it a 3.5, but I might have to jack it up to a 3.75.
Okay,
that's pretty good. But yeah, and then let me see. I guess I'll do Green Lanterns. Have you heard anything about this book?
No, because the Green Lanterns, I'm not sure of. I haven't been reading a lot of Green Lanterns since Jeff Johns left. Green Lantern's got to be its own universe. No pun or joke intended about the space theme, but just everything went everywhere. There's so many lanterns now. I mean, I know they did Green Lantern Rebirth, and the main lanterns now on Earth is Simon Baz and Jessica.
I think it's Cruz. Yeah, Jessica.
Yeah, Jessica Cruz. Yeah. So I mean, Hal's not even there or anything else. So it's really different, and I haven't stayed up to date with the Green Lanterns.
Yeah, there's 2 books now, and yeah, Hal's in the other book, but yeah, it's Simon and Jessica in this one, and they're kind of fighting the Red Lanterns in this book, and the Red Lanterns are, I don't know if they have this big device or something. They're basically infecting everyone on Earth with rage, this rage thing is just growing and infecting more people.
Is what's his face still a Red Lantern? Guy Gardner?
No, I don't think, because in one of the miniseries right before Rebirth, Guy Gardner kind of got cured of that.
Because I always liked the Red Lanterns being more of like a villainous side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're pretty much a villain here, but the interesting thing is like Simon uses his green ring to like cure one of the Red Lanterns, at least temporarily. She was like, and she's like cured, and she's just like, oh my god, what have I done? All this, but then she changes back, and it's all like.
Well, I think it's interesting, just the Green Lanterns of Simon and Jessica, because they both became Green Lanterns through like interesting means.
Yeah.
Like Simon's ring was created by Sinestro, and so it wasn't even like an official Green Lantern ring.
Mm-hmm.
Jessica was Power Ring. The Power Ring died, and her ring was remade as a Green Lantern. So it's a very interesting combination of those two.
Oh yeah, I wasn't sure if I'd like this book, but I mean, I'm in it for now. I mean, it's pretty good. This one was probably a 3.5 for me. Cool.
I might have to check it out. Like Rebirth is it's a good time to jump back in with a lot of familiar characters, a lot of just a chance to pick up storylines you might have dropped off on. Like I said, I left Green Lantern when they did the Lights Out, and after that, I wanted to pick it back up. I tried to do it when they picked it up with the post conversions where Hal had like the gauntlet glove. I just didn't stay with it.
But I was gonna say, let's jump to something you did read, Justice League #1.
Okay, so of course, Justice League is just a great book. 'Cause, I mean, when you're poor and you got to pick a book, Justice League has everybody. Now, this is something I've been talking about for a while now with Rebirth, because it's it's a continuation, but if you think about it, your Justice League continues with just 5 characters in your Justice League were already in the Justice League. Because you have Simon and Jessica, the Lanterns in the Justice League, and you have Wonder Woman, Cyborg, Aquaman, Flash, and Batman. And what I've been talking about is, and they touch on it in the book, and we'll get there, but basically, there's something event that's going on. It starts off Wonder Woman's battling, and something happens, and all of a sudden you have all the Justice you're seeing around the world trying to protect people from, we don't even know what it is. And then as the book goes on, we see people who look like they're infected with red. And I don't know if it ties into the Green Lantern, Red Lanterns, or anything, but they just keep saying things like, your time is over, stolen power, our power, your time is over. And all of a sudden, the different members of the Justice League are like losing their abilities when they're around these people. Batman's going to Gotham to try something, and then you have this conversation with Cyborg and Batman about Superman saving, and he's all over the place saving and doing stuff. And of course, as we know, this Superman is pre-52 Superman. So technically he's never been on the Justice League with this version, these alternate versions of his friend. So he's not even part of the Justice League yet. And I mean, I like the book. It has a nice kind of rebirth intro to the Justice League. And, just kind of trying to reestablish the League through everything that it's been through. Especially now, like, there's Superman-less at the moment. Solomon likes this book because he likes all the pictures. He likes Batman. But, what did you think of the book?
Oh, I liked it. It was a nice continuation from the Rebirth special where, Superman actually was working with them in the Rebirth special, and they really didn't come out and say it, but the Justice League was kind of like, the Superman can do a lot,
Yeah.
is a lot more smart and helpful than the
one that we had.
Yeah.
They're like, man, thank God our guy died.
Well, that's what I said in the Rebirth special. I'm like, the New 52 Superman was just like, oh, who do I have to punch? But, this is old school Superman. So he was like, okay, guys, attack where I'm attacking, and, let's do this, let's do that. He actually had a plan.
Which is nice and refreshing to see.
Yes.
Well, I'm interested, like I said, the dynamic of, like, knowing Superman, like they're all friends with Superman, and seeing Superman, but then trying to realize this isn't the person that we know. This isn't our friend. Mm-hmm. This is someone new. Like, that whole dynamic of trying to work that out, I think will be really interesting to see progress.
But on a scale of 5, what would you grade it?
I think a 3.5. 4. 3.5, yeah.
3.5?
I think just because, like, it drops you in,
mm-hmm.
and it's a lot of just setup. Like a lot of the other Rebirth titles, like the first Rebirth title out of the gates is kind of a refresher. There's like an overall narrator who's kind of talking to you and kind of setting you up on what's happened, what's come before, and where they are now. And this just kind of starts a new chapter. And you have them all doing something that they just jumped out of and hit the ground running, kind of, so to speak. So I like it. It's one of those, I don't feel like I got a full story.
Mm-hmm.
It's just more set up for the next chapter.
That's cool. I'd probably give it I think I'd give it a 4.
Hey, that's cool. That's your decision.
No. Let's see. I guess I'll go to Hellblazer Rebirth #1.
See, I like that right off the bat, the title. It's back to being Hellblazer.
I have to say, I mean, I've been reading the trades of the original Hellblazer series, and I've read all the, like, New 52 stuff with Constantine, but I would say this is probably the closest they've gotten since they ended the Vertigo type, the Vertigo series, that they've gotten to it.
I think it's a fine line because they're trying to expand that character, and that's why they dropped the Hellblazer and went with just Constantine.
Yeah.
I don't think it ever really worked.
I think the people wanted the Hellblazer, which they kind of got. This is like a teen plus book, so it's not like the mature book it was in Vertigo, but I think it gets pretty close. I mean, it's like classic Constantine. Constantine's basically like this demon cursed him if he ever came back to London, so he's back in London and he has to basically cast a spell so one of his friends has to help him, or else people are gonna get hurt, like physically hurt.
Cool.
And I can't wait. I know they were talking about Swamp Thing being in the first couple issues because there's like a, what is it, like 2 or 3 pages here where Swamp Thing shows up and he's asking. I don't know if he's asking for help for Constantine. He's talking to Wonder Woman and Shazam.
Good old Shazam.
Which makes sense, I guess. His powers are mystical.
Yeah. I mean, they touch on that in different... They're trying to expand that character.
Mm-hmm. But, I mean, this book was really good. I think it's a 4.5 for me. It was probably number 2. I mean, it came close to my pick of the week, but it's probably just number 2.
Okay. I like that.
What the heck? I'll go to my pick of the week then, since I teased it. Green Arrow #3.
I've liked everything I've read about Green Arrow so far, and I've always been a Green Arrow fan. The New 52, I felt he was definitely a character I think was underserviced in the New 52.
It was just inconsistent. They would have someone write an arc and then someone else, and it just kept going in different directions.
Like I was late to getting Green Arrow, so I bought the first trade. I liked it. It wasn't amazing great. The second trade, it's horrible.
That's probably when they switched the writer. Yeah,
it was. But when Jeff Lemire did it,
oh yeah,
his run for Green Arrow is the best thing they've done in a while. The whole way they did the Outsiders.
Mm-hmm.
That I recommend for anyone to read. And then after that run is when they kind of brought, was it Mark Guggenheim took over?
It was somewhat.
They brought it back around more like the Arrow TV show because they brought in Diggle They brought in Felicity.
Mm-hmm.
And then they did the post-convergence. And I read some of that, and it was just odd. It wasn't like classic. It wasn't anything familiar.
Mm-hmm. Well, they've been doing really good with this. I mean, me and Lilith have been enjoying this every issue because I mean they're bringing back all the classic elements like Black Canaries, but back in the book with him. They brought the goatee back, and now they're doing the thing where I guess the guy who's running the company for Oliver, he basically betrayed him, and I guess Oliver's losing all his money and everything.
I feel like that's now like a staple when you're Oliver.
Yeah.
It's like you got to start off and like, well, he can't be like Batman, so let's make Oliver poor somehow. But yet somehow his poor doesn't ever look like my poor. He loses all of his money, but somehow, like the whole thing in the Arrow TV show, he loses his company and his money, but somehow, he makes friends with Ray and Felicity takes over, so it's really not that much of a loss to him.
Yeah.
He's not working at the Big Belly Burger trying to make some money.
And all these rich guys always set up headquarters before they lose all their money.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for it. If they bring back Sherwood Florist, I'm in. That's what I need. I need to see Sherwood Florist, either in Arrow, the show, or in the comics. I need some Florist.
Do it both, but I guess they're bringing back a version of Diggle in this book. I guess they said they're not going to do Felicity, but they are bringing in Diggle.
Well, that's good.
Although right now he's off on a separate storyline, so.
Well, I mean, they were doing an interesting story with Diggle. Brought him in because they brought him early on into the comics, so I could see that. But the Felicity character, she's getting a lot of hate, but that's another story.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, that's my pick of the week. I'll give that a 5.
Sweet.
It's been consistently good since Rebirth. All right. And you said you read Batgirl and the Birds of Prey Rebirth?
Yes, I did. And I got this one because it wasn't one I thought of originally, but then I thought, you know what? I liked that it's Batgirl and the Birds of Prey. I thought that was just a neat title, first of all. Mm-hmm. And it starts out where it's Barbara narrating. And I feel like Batgirl, we're talking about the whole shift. When they did the DCU Batgirl where she went from, it's like they somehow magically de-aged her. And gave her a homemade suit from where she was already she went from being late 20s to being 16 again. Or more like 18, 19.
Yeah.
They just all of a sudden de-aged her. They gave her a very homemade suit. And I tried to read some of that Batgirl, but I just could not get into it. So I decided with this Rebirth, I'd give it a shot. And I think it's interesting they kind of kept the same suit from the DCU Batgirl. Mm-hmm. But we get to learn a little bit about Batgirl continuity. Killing Joke still exists. It's all about her being Oracle, and then someone else is taking on the Oracle mantra.
A villain.
Yeah, and she's trying to figure it out, so she recruits Black Canary, who is done with her band and is on her way back to being more of the established Black Canary. And then also, the book ends with them bringing back, or bringing in, however you want to say it, Huntress, Helena Bertinelli, as Huntress from where she was in Spiral. And I really enjoyed it because it's back to the classic, but still kind of a fresh take. Mm-hmm. And so I'm really excited because I feel like Birds of Prey can be a really good book that opens up these characters. And we can get a lot more from these characters. Mm-hmm. And like I said, it helps set up who this Barbara Gordon is. What is this Batgirl about? What has she been through? What hasn't she done? Is it straight? Because most of the Rebirth stuff has been more of a straight, linear continuation from where we last left off in the New 52. Mm-hmm. But there's been some that have, had some changes. But I would give this book a 4.
Yeah, I probably gotta agree with you there. I wasn't going to pick this up originally, but then I was seeing all these good reviews, and I was like, oh, crap, another good book, I got to try it. So, yeah, I mean, That's what I was even telling. I think it was last week. I was telling Lilith. Even like the worst of the Rebirth books, I've been like, yeah, this is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't read anything from Rebirth that I didn't agree with. And Solomon agrees with me.
Uh-huh.
We've tried. I've explained multiverse theory to him, and for a 1-year-old, he gets it. He's like, "I got it, Daddy."
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the Batgirl solo book I guess Rebirth comes out next week.
Yeah, because that was the thing. I couldn't remember if it was this week with this one or if it's separate. I'm thinking about continuing for a while with the Birds of Prey Batgirl, but we'll see. I like to give the books a chance.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's get into Batman number 3.
Yeah, Batman.
Have you been reading any of the Have you read any Batman yet?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so you know about Gotham.
You can tell me.
but you know about Gotham and Gotham Girl.
Yeah.
And we kind of get their origin in this issue.
Do we now?
Yes.
Okay.
It starts with a flashback of Batman saving this couple and their son from getting shot in an alley. Sounds familiar. But
it's supposed to be doing good job, Batman.
Yeah. So, and then they show it's the couple telling their story to supposedly an FBI agent, but they're telling him that the son became all obsessed with Batman, so him and his sister just started trying to do like charity work around the city, and then they're working out and studying, and then I guess eventually they went overseas, and at some point they got these superpowers.
Interesting.
I guess they bought them somewhere, but yeah, the FBI agent they're telling their story to, it's Matches Malone.
Nice.
Yeah. So Batman discovers their origin. But I guess they're running this soon in the you heard about that crossover with the Monster Men coming up?
Yes.
Yeah, because I guess they're running into that because Gotham Girl and there's an explosion in at the end. Gotham and Gotham Girl run into Hugo Strange and the Psycho Pirate.
Nice.
Yeah. Psycho Pirate hasn't been around in a while. Like, he was all big in Crisis on Infinite Earths, and then I think he showed up for, 2 seconds in Infinite Crisis?
Didn't he show up for a little bit in Superman 52?
I can't remember. Maybe.
Maybe not.
But I just wonder what he knows, because he after Crisis on Infinite Earths, he knew, he still, even though no one else knew about the pre-Crisis Earth, he kind of still had knowledge of it for a while.
Which is awesome when you have that character that remembers the stuff that everyone else forgets, which plays an important part, if you think about in Rebirth with Wally.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah, it was a really good issue. I think, it's probably another 4.5 for me.
Cool.
All right, and I'll get to my last.
Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna grab something for Solomon and calm him down. Hold on, I'll be right back.
All right. Well, my last book, I saved this for last because Charlie's gonna be doing a review of it later. But Superman number 3.
Woo woo, Superman.
No. There's a big. I guess you don't mind me spoiling this.
No, I already know something. I haven't read the book, but I know what happens.
Okay. Well, yeah. Clark and Lois take their son to the fortress because his invulnerability's been cutting in and out, and they see the Eradicator,
which is a nice callback.
I know. I was wondering if this was pre-New 52 Eradicator or not, but I guess it's a new version.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but Crypto's there too. I was trying to remember because Charlie was asking me. Was Crypto in the New 52?
But a lot of the story arcs in the New 52 just weren't that good.
Yeah, but was Crypto in them at all?
I don't remember. I haven't read them reread them and got as in depth as I had with some of the other stories.
Yeah, because Crypto's there, and I'm like, I don't think he came over with, the old Superman and Lois, and...
He must have been in the Fortress. I'll double check for you.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, that's the big spoiler. So spoiler, if you don't want to hear this, the Eradicator, basically opens his mouth and sucks up Crypto.
Wow! That sucks.
It's
Let's all read that. He loves his dogs.
But yeah, this must be a new version of the Eradicator, because he was saying he was one of a bunch of robots, I guess Zod created on Krypton. But then when the planet exploded, I guess some of the molten remains of Krypton coated him and gave him kind of a humanoid shape that wasn't all robotic.
Hey, it goes back to what I told you earlier. It seems like everything from Krypton but Superman and Supergirl is evil.
Yeah. And you know what else you might find interesting? Because the reason I guess he sucked up Crypto is because he said back on Krypton, the Eradicators would I guess they could take the life force out of criminals. They would throw the life force in the Phantom Zone, and they would keep their bodies in stasis.
Huh. Kind of are the Eradicators going to be the Manhunters for the Kryptonians?
Yeah, kind of, sort of.
Interesting. Let's see how that plays out.
But yeah, I was just wait a minute. I'm it seems like they're almost killing off Crypto, but I'm I don't even remember him being in the books for the New 52.
See, I remember, I'm trying to make sure, was it the New 52? Hold on, I think so. He was in one of them. I think he was tied more with Supergirl.
What? Was he with her in the New 52?
Hold on, I'm trying to remember. There's one book, now I feel bad, I cannot remember. It was I think it was Superman or Supergirl dreaming or whatever, and you found Crypto in the Phantom Zone, protecting them against Doomsday getting out. I'm off to do some research.
Yeah, maybe do research too.
I've liked everything I've seen so far of Superman, the whole rebirth. I read Action Comics in the New 52 and off and on, and I liked Action Comics for the most part when they did the depowered Superman. I thought for the most part Action Comics did well. Maybe not so much Superman, but Action Comics did well. And with this new Rebirth Superman, I'm on board for both. I got Action and Superman coming in.
Yeah, I like it a lot better. The whole problem with the depowered Superman is I don't think they wrote him consistently over all the books.
Nope.
No.
I don't know. It went in some weird places with the story.
Mm-hmm.
It had some good parts, but it had some... It was out there parts, but yeah. But Rebirth seems to be getting it right.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, I want to have Charlie do his review of this, but that's all my books. So Tyler, thank you for filling in for Lilith.
Oh, no problem. I'm always up for reviewing when I have the time. I just sit and talk about the books because not as many people read the books. I talk to a lot of people I'm a big Superman fan, but I haven't read the books in a while, and I'm like, what we talk about?
But if people want to talk DC Comics with you, especially any Superman or Supergirl stuff, where can they get a hold of you?
You can find me on Southgate's Media Krypton Report podcast. We started it as a Supergirl podcast, but we've developed more into just the super show. We talk Superman, Supergirl, and the upcoming Krypton TV series. And you can find it on Twitter at Krypton Report, or you can find me at JTY Patrick on Twitter. Basically JTY Patrick on anything.
All right. Well, thank you, sir. And anytime you're reading a book, send your thoughts in, audio or email, anything.
I will, and I was thinking about it'd be kind of fun to do that, especially with the new books for the Rebirth. They're about to do Supergirl Rebirth and everything.
Hmm. All right. Well, thank you, sir.
You're welcome, Phil.
All right, everyone. Tyler's out, and once again, another marvelous review from Mr. Charlie Esser. Like I said, his book this week was Superman #3, because I guess he's getting into this Superman book.
I am loving the Superman, and I'm telling you, got my 3-book rule. You know what this means? You know what this means? This is on the pull list.
Oh.
Superman is coming on the pull list as of next Wednesday. When I go in, I'm going to say, put Superman on the pull list, because I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. And this is my first DC book on my pull list since Secret Six. This last Secret Six that ended like 2 weeks after I put it on, so it's not a curse of DC. You know, I actually put Starfire on the pull list, but her third issue at 2 issues, and that's what established the third issue rule, at least for DC books. But this one made it. It's a thumbs up. Although, you know, here's the thing. I want to mark it down because of what I'm going to say was freaking paid placement of, ooh, spoiler, you may want to avoid this big, important spoiler. Who dies in the new Superman issue #3 Rebirth? You know, you can't introduce a character in that issue and then act like, just because, and a Rebirth issue, and act like this was some established character, because it's so let's give a quick recap. So last we saw Superman, Jonathan is unconscious because his powers keep on cutting in and out. They're not working properly because they're fighting with the genome. And then Spider-Man's there, or not Spider-Man, Superman's there, and wrong book. He runs into the Eradicator, but this is theoretically a nice guy Eradicator. I don't want to destroy anything. I just want to bring about help the Kryptonians survive, because I'm all awesome. But it's like, oh, well, your son, he's half human, so we just got to eliminate all the human DNA, and he'll be fine. And he's like, no, that doesn't work that way. So anyway, quick cut, 2 women like chocolate in the middle of there. Man, I hate that hat. Get a quick Zod cameo. And basically, Superman has been beaten on the Eradicator, but the Eradicator proves himself to Superman by not, and actually this happened earlier in this, by not attacking Superman when his back was turned, when he was trying to save Lois and Jonathan. So he realized the Eradicator's okay, but that after they do the scan of Jonathan, the Eradicator's like, oh, well, your son's half human DNA, we have to kill it, or at least get rid of that unhuman part, or that human part, and just make him all Kryptonian. So Superman basically beats the heck out of him, because why discuss this with this editor? Just discuss things with it. But then the Eradicator eats Crypto, because, and just so you know, Crypto wasn't in the first 2 issues. Now, I asked people who read Superman if Crypto was in other issues. Like, oh, was this like a Rebirth Crypto? Is this an established Crypto? This is the first, as far as I know, that Crypto has been featured in the Rebirth universe.
Oh yeah, me and Tyler couldn't remember, but I just looked it up. Yeah, he made a few appearances in the New 52. I mean, nothing major.
Okay, but no. I mean, yeah,
I know. They bring him in just to kill him off. I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's like, and to be honest with you, that in and of itself doesn't necessarily bother me, because I saw him there. Oh, that must be New 52's Crypto. Okay, but you know, because he's in the Fortress, it's New 52's Crypto. That's fine. Now, exactly why Eradicator isn't upset about a dog with Kryptonian DNA, but a human with Kryptonian DNA, that's not allowable. Not quite sure. But aside from that pointless spoily thing, this was a good issue. I'm definitely giving this 3.5 Superman shields out of 5. 3.5 dead Kryptonian dogs out of 5. Yeah, gotta kill the dog. Don't kill the dog, man. And actually, for what it's worth, they didn't actually kill the dog. They assimilated the dog into the Eradicator. So theoretically, the dog could be reconstructed from the Eradicator, Jurassic Park style. So just to nerd it out for y'all. And that was the thing. Like, at first I thought, oh, is that the crypto? Did they bring the crypto with them from the old world? And I'm like, well, no, then we would have seen crypto on the farm, Wouldn't have been that poor cat that died. It would have been, go crypto, just shaking off a couple of heat blasts. But then, of course, then we get, Jonathan Kent all looking angry with laser eyes at the end as his dad's beating the heck out of Eradicator. But yeah, good book. Really liked it. Superman is on the pull list.
Ooh,
there you go.
Little fears.
No, hey, I've never disliked Superman. He's, you know why? Because Superman, he's hopeful. He has conflict, but he wants to do good. He's basically a Marvel hero who got written into the DC universe. So, I feel for poor Soups because he said they're like, let's be good, heroic heroes, and everyone's like, no, let's kill people because we're Batman. And it's like, oh, Batman, that's not right. No,
Superman, a Marvel hero. Look who's getting brave when Lilith's out of town.
Oh, don't tell her I said it. No, I'll stand by that, man. Because he's a Golden Age hero, and that's the thing about Marvel is still very much tied to the Golden Age. And that hopefulness of heroes, because that's what the heroes were meant to be. That's where superheroes came from. Is this idea of the hope of democracy, the hope of a new world, of America. Superheroes are what the American dream is supposed to be. People from other places coming here and using their unique skills and talents to build a greater world. Now, obviously, that comes into a real complex issue when you talk about Native Americans. And so, you can put darkness in there too, friends. Don't worry. Like I say, Marvel comics aren't light. They just happen during the daytime. But that's my Marvelous review. That's enough for 1 week.
All right, and tell the people where they can discuss these issues with you, Charlie.
If you would like to talk to me about how Superman really should just, break through the fourth wall, come over to the Marvel Universe and be happy for once in his freaking life, work for the Daily Bugle, and have a great, great career, you can do so by writing me at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. And if you'd like to tweet, which sometimes I actually do, and hey, if you ever wanted to get into the world of podcasting and like the 1978 to 85 Incredible Hulk series, I'm looking for a podcast partner for the GammaCast. You can tweet at me at Charlie Esser. That's CharlieEsser. Look for the 2 E's in the middle for quality.
All right, and since I didn't do social media before, if you want to contact us about any of these books, what's good, what do you think's good, what do you think isn't good, if you want to send Wolf Hellfire a message saying, get back here now, this guy sucks, you can email us, worldsfinestpod@gmail.com, Facebook is World's Finest Podcast, Twitter is @worldsfinestpod, and our shared Instagram is World's Finest Roundup. And as always, you can always talk to me anything DC or Marvel, nightwingpdp@gmail.com, and on Twitter, I am @nightwingpdp, where I usually live tweet the DC shows when they are new. All right, that's it. Another good week of books, and I hope you enjoyed this special all male episode of World's Finest. But come back next week. Don't worry, Lilith Hellfire will be back, I'm sure, with more stories from Comic-Con. So until then, keep an eye on your pets. Good night.